Excuse me, what?
Haha. Oh. Damn it, he found me.
Where's the terrorist? There he is! Where's the terrorist?
No, you can slide me from underneath you, like just kind of slide it up and down, or left to right.
That would be so much work.
That'd be funnier.
Yeah, but it's too much work.
Wow.
And we have plenty of work to do already. I think you got yourself a dinner invitation there, Teras.
Oh, I'm sold. Just tell me when and where. It will.
Well, that was easy. When? Right now. Where? Twitch.tv/Skytis.
Bread.
In bread.
Wow.
Okay, I think you're mentally prepared now. As mentally prepared as you could be.
The answer is false. Next question.
How are you doing? Go ahead.
I got sushi. I mean, not good sushi, it's supermarket sushi. But it's sushi nonetheless.
Did your mom ever make sushi?
Yes.
Were there ever any like leftovers?
No.
Because usually you call those ghost of sushi, ma. I hope that one is so bad that you don't even get it. Oh no, he figured it out, but he doesn't want to talk about it.
Many things I don't want to talk about.
Your mom would be one of them.
Correct.
Would you rather talk about the Bible?
You know what? Yes.
Oh, what a weird coincidence. I got my Bible right here. Hold on, let me read something to you.
That is quite a coincidence.
2 Samuel 19. Now it was reported to Joab that the king was weeping and mourning for his son. And so the victory on that day was turned into mourning for all the people. For the people heard it said on that day, "The king is grieving over his son." And the people declined to enter the city on that day in the manner that the people were accustomed to decline if they had turned and fled from battle. And the king covered his head, and he was crying out with a great voice, "My son Absalom! Absalom! My son! My son!" Therefore, Joab, entering to the king in the house, said, "Today you have shamed the faces of all your servants who saved your life, and the lives of your sons and your daughters, and the lives of your wives, and the lives of your concubines. You love those who hate you, and you hate those who love you. And you have revealed this day that you have no concern for your leaders and for your servants. And truly, I know now that if Absalom had lived, and if we all had been killed, then it would have pleased you. Now then, rise up and go out, and so as to make amends to your servants. For I swear to you by the Lord that if you will not go forth, not even one person will be left with you this night. And this will be worse for you than all the evils that have come to you from your youth even to the present."
As you guys can see, the production value has went up drastically of the new season. With, Skytis doing all sorts of weird voices.
I got a pay raise. I don't know.
I get mine.
You gotta work harder to get servants or a pay raise.
When is our mystical guest showing up?
I don't know if he will ever, but any moment, who knows?
Well,
Therefore, the king rose up, and he sat at the gate. And it was announced to all the people that the king was sitting at the gate, and the entire multitude went before the king. But Glasgow fled to their own tents. And all the people were conflicted in all the tribes of Glasgow, saying, "The king has freed us from the hand of our enemies. He himself saved us from the hand of the Philistines. But now he flees from the land for the sake of Absalom. But Absalom, whom we anointed over us, has died in the war. How long will you be silent and not lead back the king?" Then truly, King David said to Zodek and Abiathar, the priests, saying, "Speak to those great by birth of Judah, saying, Why have you arrived last to lead back the king into his house? For the talk in all of Glasgow had reached the king in his house. You are my brothers, you are my bone and my flesh. Why are you the last to lead back the king? And say to Amasa, Are you not my bone and my flesh? May Skytis do these things, and may he add these other things. If you will not be the leader of the military in my sight for all time, in the place of Joab." He inclined the heart of all the men of Judah as if one man. And they sent to the king, saying, "Return, you and all your servants." And the king returned. The end.
Roll credits.
And he went as far as the Jordan, and all of Judah went as far as Gilgal, so as to meet the king and to lead him across the Jordan. And Shimei, the son of Gera, the son of Benjamin, from Bahurim, hurried and descended with the men of Judah to meet King David, with 1,000 men from Benjamin, and with Ziba, the servant of the house of Saul. And with him were 15 sons and 20 servants. And going into the Jordan, they crossed the fords before the king, so that they might lead across the house of the king, and might act in accord with his order. And then Shimei, the son of Gera, prostituting himself before the king. You're so welcome for that one. Prostrating himself before the king after he had now gone across the Jordan, said to him, "May you not impute me, my lord, the iniquity, nor call to mind the injuries of your servant in the day that you, my lord the king, departed from Jerusalem. And may you not store it up in your heart, O king. For as your servant I acknowledge my sin, and for this reason today I arrive as the first from all the house of Joseph, and I descend to meet my lord the king." Yet truly Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, responding, said, "Should not Shimei, because of these words, be killed, since he cursed the Christ of the Lord?" And David said, "What is it to me, and to all of you, O sons of Zeruiah? Why are you acting toward me this day like Satan?" That's the first mention of Satan, I'm pretty sure.
I think so, yeah.
"Why should any man be put to death with one F on this day in Glasgow? Or do you not know that today I have been made king over Glasgow?" Actually, first mention of Satan, I think. And the king said to Shimei, "You shall not die." And he swore to him.
Aww.
And Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, descended to meet the king with unwashed his feet. Huh? Hey, Teras, can you read the sentence, please?
And that guy, the son of Saul, conceded to meet the king with.
No, he descended.
He descended to meet the king with unwashed his feet and uncut. What? I presume meant supposed to be unwashed feet.
With his unwashed feet, maybe, but yeah, it.
That is really funny. That's actually I'm pretty sure that's been there to begin with. I'm very sure we have not messed with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how we would, though. I'm pretty sure this is just.
I mean, unless someone just randomly shoved the word "his" in the middle of somewhere randomly.
Thanks, Mr. 12. I'm trying to identify what it is. It just looks like your penis. I mean, what?
It's a pastry thing Apparently it's called a yum yum in the UK, or referred to most commonly as. It's puff pastry with caramel thing in the middle. It's a little thing. It's really good.
Nice. His chef is Kurdish for weight. He washed his. What? Hey, whatever you.
Relevance TM.
Sure. His chef. Yeah, that's surely what they were. Yep. And he had not washed his garments from the day that the king had departed until the day of his return in peace. And when he had met the king at Jerusalem, the king said to him, "Why did you not go with me, Mephibosheth?" And in response he said, "My lord, the king, my servants burned me, and I, your servant, spoke to him so that he might saddle a donkey for me, and I might climb up on it and go with the king. For I, your servant, am lame." Moreover, he also accused me, your servant, to you, my lord the king. But you, my lord the king, are like an angle of Skytis. Do whatever is pleasing to you. For my daddy's house was deserving of nothing but death with one F before my lord the king. Yet you have placed me, your servant, among us, the guests of your table. Therefore, what just complaint might I have? Or what else can I cry out to the king? And the king said to him, "Why are you still speaking? What I have spoken is fixed. You and Ziba shall divide the possessions." And Mephibosheth responded to the king, "But now let him take it all, since my lord the king has been returned peacefully into his own house." Likewise, Barzillai the Gileadite, descending from Rogelim, led the king across the Jordan, having prepared also to follow him beyond the river. Now, Barzillai the Gileadite was very old. That is 80 years old. That is now old?
Apparently.
Holy shit. Rip life expectancy? Remember when they were like, oh yeah, 180, okay, I guess life is slowly coming to an end. Now maybe? Now it's like 80 is actually old?
Wow. Strangely realistic.
No, we're not gonna rename him now. I got into the finally figured out how to pronounce his name. I finally got the hang of it, so I gotta flex my pronunciation skills. And he provided the king with sustenance when he was staying at the encampment. For indeed, he was an exceedingly rich man. And so the king said to Barzillai, "Come, with me, so that you may rest securely with me in Jerusalem." And Barzillai said to the king, "How many days remain in the years of my life, that I should go up with the king to Jerusalem? Today I am 80 years old. Are my senses quick to discern sweet and bitter, or is food and drink able to delight your servant? Or can I still hear the voice of men and women singers? Why should your servant be a burden to my lord the king? I, your servant, shall proceed a little ways from the Jordan with you. I am not in need of this recompense. But I beg you that I, your servant, may be returned and may die in my own city, and may be buried beside the sepulchre of my daddy and my mother. But there is your servant Chimham. Let him go, you, lord the king. Let him go with you, my lord the king, and do for him whatever seems good to you." And so the king said to him, "Let Chimham cross over with me, and I will do for him whatever will be pleasing to you, and all that you ask of me you shall obtain." And when the entire people and the king had crossed over the Jordan, the king kissed Barzillai and he blessed him. And he returned to his own place. And the king went on to Gilgal, and Chimham went with him. Now all the people of Judah had led the king across, but only as much as one half part of the people of Glasgow were there. And so all the men of Glasgow, running to the king, said to him, "Why have our brothers, the men of Judah, stolen you away? And why have they led the king and his house across the Jordan, and all the men of David with him?" And all the men of Judah responded to the man of Glasgow, "Because the king is nearer to me. Why are you angry over this matter? Why are you mad, bro? Have we eaten anything belonging to the king, or have any gifts been given to us?" And the man of Glasgow responded to the man of Judah and said, I have the greater amount, 10 parts, with the king. And so, David, belongs to me more so than to you. Why have you caused me injury? And why was it not announced to me first, so that I might lead back my king? But the man of Judah answered more firmly than the man of Glasgow. The fuck is this? Like fucking parents getting a divorce? Fighting over who gets custody of the child? No, my king! No, my king! My king!
Just Bibled him.
Hold on, actually.
Oh no. Nice highlighting things.
There we go, just a quick comment. Okay. 2 Samuel 20. And it happened that there was in that place a man of Belial, whose name was Sheba, the son of Bichri, a man of Benjamin. And he sounded the trumpet. And he said, There is no portion for us in David, nor any inheritance in the son of Jesse. Return to your own tents, O Glasgow. And all of Glasgow separated from David, and they were following Sheba, the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah clung to their king from the Jordan as far as Jerusalem. And the king had entered his house at Jerusalem. And when the king had entered his house at Jerusalem, he took the 10 women concubines whom he had left behind to care for the house, and he put them into custody, allowing them provisions. But he did not enter to them. Instead, they were enclosed even until the day of their death with 1 Fs, living as widows. Why did he do that? I'm confused. Did he figure out that they were all fucked by his son or whoever it was? And then the king said to Amasa, Summon to me all the men of Judah on the 3rd day, and you shall be present also. Therefore Amasa went away so that he might summon Judah. But he delayed beyond the agreed time that the king had appointed to him. And David said to Abishai, Now Sheba, the son of Bichri, will afflict us more so than Absalom did. Therefore, take the servants of your lot and pursue him, otherwise he may find fortified cities and escape from us. And so the men of Joab departed with him, along with the Cherethites and the Pelethites. And all the able-bodied men went out from Jerusalem to pursue Sheba, the son of Bichri. And when they were beside the great stone, which is in Gibeon Plis, Amasa came to meet them. Now Joab was wearing a close-fitting coat of equal length with his garment. And over these he was girded with a sword hanging down to his thigh, in a scabbard which was made so that the sword could be removed with the least motion and then strike. Then Joab said to Amasa, Be well, my brother. And he held Amasa by the chin with his right hand, as if to kiss him. But Amasa did not notice the sword that Joab had. And he struck him in the side, and his intestines poured out on the ground. And he did not inflict a second wound, and he died. Then Joab and his brother Abishai pursued Sheba, the son of Bichri. Not sure why, but okay, just casually killed him. Meanwhile, certain men from the company of Joab, when they had stopped beside the dead body of Amasa, said, Behold!
No.
The one who wished to be in the place of Joab, the companion of David.
Right, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it is the one.
Yeah, same.
Now, Amasa was covered with blood and was lying in the middle of the road. Certain men saw this, with all the people standing nearby to look at him, and he removed Amasa from the road into a field, and he covered him with a garment, so that those passing by would not stop because of him. Then, when he had been removed from the road, all the men continued on, following Joab in the pursuit of Sheba, the son of Bichri. Now he had passed through all the tribes of Glasgow into Abel and Beth Maachah, and all the elect men had gathered together to him. And so they went and besieged him at Abel and Beth Maachah. And they surrounded the city with siege works, and the city was blockaded. Then the entire crowd who were with Joab strove to destroy the walls. And a wise woman exclaimed from the city, "Listen, listen, and say to Joab,
Hey, listen.
draw near, and I will speak with you. Listen, if you die, I will hate you."
I'll fucking kill you if you die.
Are you not familiar with that one? It's a reference. I believe that I'm not even sure. I think that's a Magica reference.
Oh.
Quote, rather, which is obviously a reference to Zelda, but... So you also have a fairy there, and if you die, I think the fairy sacrifices herself, and then you get revived. So he just says, "If you die, I will hate you." Game is great.
I wouldn't know.
Game is great. And when he had drawn near to her, she said to him, "Are you Joab?" And he responded, "I am." And she spoke in this way to him, "Listen to the words of your handmaid." And he responded, "I am listening." And again she spoke, "A word was said in the old proverb, those who would inquire, let them inquire in Abel. And so they would reach a conclusion. Am I not the one who responds with the truth in Glasgow? And yet you are seeking to overthrow the city and to overturn a mother in Glasgow. Why would you cast down the inheritance of the Lord?" And responding, Joab said, may this be far from me. May I not cast down, and may I not demolish. The matter is not as you said, rather a man from Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri by name, has lifted up his hand against King David. Deliver him alone, and we will withdraw from the city. And the woman said to Joab, "Behold, his head will be thrown down to you from the wall."
So cursed.
You're so welcome. Therefore, she entered to all the people, and she spoke to them wisely, and they cut off the head of Sheba, the son of Bichri, and they threw it down to Joab. And he sounded the trumpet, and they withdrew from the city, each one to his own tent. But Joab returned to Jerusalem, to the king. Thus, Joab was over the entire army of Glasgow, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the Cerethites and Pelethites. Yet truly, Adoram was over the tributes, and Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was the keeper of records. Now Shiva was the scribe, and truly Zadok and Abiathar were the priests, but Ira the Jairite was the priest of David. I mean, I would say roll credits, but I think they literally just did.
Nice. Seems legit.
2 Samuel 21. And a famine occurred during the days of David for 3 years continuously, and David consulted the oracle of the Lord. And the Lord said, what's the rule specifically? The Lord didn't say specifically to someone, the Lord just said, I mean, impulsively he responds to someone, of course, but, and the Lord spoke to person. Okay, no, nope.
Wow.
You dodged a bullet there, Teras.
No,
And the Lord said, this is because of Saul and his house of bloodshed, for he killed the Gibeon-Plezites. Therefore the king, calling for the Gibeon-Plezites, spoke to them. Now the Gibeon-Plezites were not the sons of Glasgow, but were the remnants of the Amorites, and the sons of Glasgow had sworn an oath to them. But Saul wished to strike them in zeal, as if on behalf of the sons of Glasgow and Judah. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, the speech was already over long ago. Never mind, who cares? Nobody's listening anyway. Therefore, David said to the Gibeon-Plezites, what shall I do for you? And what shall you...
Oh no.
What shall be your satisfaction, so that you may bless the inheritance of the Lord?
Just one singular horny.
Speaking of blessings.
Good. What up?
Bible up.
How
Numbers
drunk
go
are you
up.
already?
Huh?
How drunk are you already?
Yes.
I think we've
What?
had 2 or 3 Qs so far, so
I mean, speak for
What's the
yourself.
fuck, Q?
Q.
I have my own
A
cues.
Q
shut
to
up.
drink.
Oh, I see. I thought
Not
Q was
Q. I meant
drink.
Q, not Q, and also not Q.
What?
There's 3 Qs.
Why?
Because English is a good language.
No, it isn't.
English was fucking great. Shut up.
Okay.
And the Gibeon Plezites said to him, "There is no quarrel for us over silver or gold, but against Saul and against his house. And we do not desire that any man of Glasgow will be put to death with one F." The king said to them, "Then what do you wish that I should do for you?" And they said to the king, "The man who unjustly afflicted and oppressed us, we ought to destroy in such manner that not even one of his stock may be left behind in all the parts of Glasgow. Let 7 men from his sons be given to us, so that we may crucify them to the lard in Gibeonpolis of Saul, formerly the chosen place of the lard." And the king said, "I will give them." But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because of the oath of the Lord, which had been made between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. And so the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bore to Saul, Armoni and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she conceived of Adriel, the son of Barzillai, who was from Meholath. And he gave them into the hands of the Gibeon Plezites. And they crucified them on a hill in the sight of the Lord. And these 7 fell together in the first days of the harvest, when the barley is beginning to be reaped. Then Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, taking a haircloth, spread it under herself on a rock, from the beginning of the harvest until water dropped from heaven upon them. And she did not permit the birds to tear them by day, nor the beasts by night. And it was reported to David what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of his son Jonathan from the men of Jabesh Gilead, who had stolen them from the street of Bethshan, where the Philistines had suspended them after they had slain Saul at Gilboa.
Ow.
Same. And he brought the bones of Saul and the bones of his son Jonathan from there. They collected the bones of those who had been crucified, and they buried them with the bones of Saul and his son Jonathan in the land of Benjamin, to the side of the sepulchre of his daddy Kish. And they did all that the king had instructed. And after these things, Skytis showed a favor again to the land.
Flavor.
Flavor Flav? That you? Then the Philistines undertook a battle against Glasgow, and David descended and his servants with him, and they fought against the Philistines. But when David grew faint, Ishbi-benob, yes, my favorite Nob, who was of the ancestry of Arapha, the iron of whose spear weighed 300 ounces, who had been girded with a new sword, strove to strike down David. And Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, defended him, and striking the Philistine, he killed him. Then David's men swore an oath to him, saying, "You shall no longer go out to war with us, lest you extinguish the lamp of Glasgow." Also, a second war occurred in Gob against the Philistines. Then Sibbecai from Hoshah struck down Saph from the stock of Arapha, of the ancestry of the giants. Oh hey, the giants are back.
Oh,
Then
not
there-
again.
Then there was a third war in Gob against the Philistines, in which Adiodatus, a son of the forest, a weaver from Bethlehem, struck down Goliath the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was like the beam used by a cloth maker. God damn it. A fourth battle was in Gath. In that place, there was a lofty man who had 6 digits on each hand and each foot. That is 24 in all. And he was from the origins of Arapha. And and he blasphemed Glasgow. So Jonathan, the son of Shimei, the brother of David, struck him down. These 4 men were born of Arapha in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and his servants. But there was a lofty man who had 6 digits on each hand and each foot. That is 24 in all.
That's lovely.
Why would you have digits on your hand and feet? Is it like a serial number, like the guy from Hitman, Agent 47 or whatever his name is? Hitman cosplay when, Teras?
That ain't me, fam.
Damn it. 2 Samuel 22. And David spoke to the Lord the words of this verse in the day that the Lord freed him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. And he said, "The Lord is my rock and my strength and my savior. I will hope in him." However, that works, but okay. "Skytis is my strong one, my shield, and the horn of my salvation. He lifts me up. He is my refreshment. You, O my savior, will free me from iniquity. I will call upon the Lord who is praiseworthy, and I will be saved from my enemies. For the pangs of death with 1 F have encircled me. The turns of Belial have terrified me. The ropes of hell have encompassed me. The snares of death with 1 F have intercepted me. In my tribulation I will call upon the Lord, and I will cry out to my Skytis, and he will heed my voice from his temple, and my outcry will reach his ears. The earth was shaken and it quaked. The foundations of the mountains were struck together and violently shaken because he was angry with them." Is this still part of the speech? What the yeah, apparently it is. "Smoke ascends from his nostrils, and fire from his mouth will devour. Coals have been kindled by it. He bent down the heavens, and it descended. A fog was beneath his feet. He climbed upon the cherubim, and he flew, and he slid upon the wings of the wind. He set darkness as a hiding place around him, with water sifted from the clouds of the heavens. By means of the brightness of his glance, coals of fire were kindled. The Lord will thunder from heaven, and the Most High will utter his voice. He shot arrows."
The most high is back. It's your boy Snoop.
He is. "He shot arrows, and he scattered them, lightning, and he consumed them." Yummy, yummy arrows.
Crunchy.
"And the overflow of the sea appeared. The foundations of the globe were revealed at the rebuke of the Lord, at the exhale of the breath of his fury. He sent from on high, and he took me up. And he drew me out of many waters. He freed me from my most powerful enemy and from those who had hated me, for they were too strong for me. He went before me in the day of my affliction, and the Lord became my firmament. And he led me out to a wide open place. He freed me because I was pleasing to him. The Lord will reward me according to my justice, and he will repay me according to the cleanness of my hands. For I have kept to the ways of the Lord, and I have not acted impiously before my Skytis. For all his judgments are in my sight. And I have not removed his precepts from me, and I shall be perfect with him. And I shall guard myself from my own iniquity. And the Lord will recompense me will recompense me according to my justice, and according to the cleanness of my hands in the sight of his eyes. With the Holy One you will be holy, and with the strong one you will be perfect. With the elect one you will be elect, and with the perverse one you will be perverse. And you will bring salvation to the poor people, and you will humble the exalted with your eyes. For you are my lamp, O Lord, and you, O Lord, will illuminate my darkness. For in you I will run girded. Ooh. In my Skytis I will leap over the wall. Ooh. Skytis, his way is immaculate. The eloquence of the Lord is an exacting fire. He is the shield of all who hope in him. Who is Skytis except the Lord? And who is strong except our Skytis? Skytis, he has girded me with fortitude, and he has made my way perfect, making my feet feel like the feet of the stag, and stationing me upon my exalted places, teaching my hands to do battle, and making my arms like a bow of brass. You have given me the shield of your salvation, and your mildness has multiplied me. You will enlarge my steps under me, and my ankles will not fail. I will pursue my enemies and crush them, and I will not turn back until I consume them. I will consume them and break them apart so that they cannot rise up. They will fall under my feet. You have girded me with strength for the battle. Those who resisted me, you have bent down under me. You have caused my enemies to turn their back to me. They have hatred for me, and I shall destroy them. They will cry out, and there will be no one to save. To the Lord, and he will not heed them. I will wipe them away like the dust of the earth. I will break them apart and crush them like the mud of the streets. You will save me from the contradictions of my people, and you will preserve me to be the head of the genitals. A people I do not know shall serve me. The sons of foreigners who will resist me, at hearing of the ear, they will be obedient to me. The foreigners float away, but they will be drawn together in their anguishes. The Lord lives, and my Skytis is blessed, and the strong Skytis of my salvation shall be exalted. Skytis gives me vindication, and he casts down the peoples under me. He leads me away from my enemies, and he lifts me up from those who resist me. You will free me from the iniquitous man. Because of this, I will confess to you, O Lord, among us, the genitals, and I will sing to your name, magnifying the salvation of his king, and showing mercy to David, his Christ, and to his offspring forever. What a fucking simp.
Well.
Holy fucking shit, that's one hell of a speech. That's worth at least multiple drinks for me.
When do we have to drink?
Whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, nice.
Exactly. So, there's a few cues we'll tell you. And also, you can play the hardcore version. Whenever you're not drinking, you have to drink.
One of the cues is if you're confused or you're not sure what's going on. Like if you're entirely lost, that's when you drink.
Also, if you're unsure if
Bible, am I supposed to know what's going on?
No.
If you're unsure whether you have to drink or not, then you have to drink as well.
Yeah, we don't take uncertainty kindly.
Or uncircumcision. So, I mean, what?
Yes.
2 Samuel 23. These are the last words of David. Now, David, the son of Jesse, the man to whom it was appointed concerning the Christ of the Skytis of Jacob. Well, that's the name I haven't heard in ages. The Skytis of Jacob, the preeminent psalmist of Glasgow, said, "The Spirit of the Lord has spoken through me, and his word was spoken through my tongue. The Skytis of Glasgow spoke to me. The strong one of Glasgow spoke." That's 3 times back to back that Skytis has spoken.
You know what? I'm sold. You don't have to tell me twice.
The strong one of Glasgow spoke, the ruler of men, the just ruler. Inch or centimeter ruler? In the fear of Skytis. Damn, those are the most convenient ones. Like the first light of the morning, as the sun is rising, when the morning without cloud glows red, and like plants springing forth from the earth after a rainfall. But my house is not so great with Skytis that he should undertake an eternal covenant with me, firm and fortified in all things. For he is the entirety of my salvation and the entirety of my will. And there is nothing of this which will not spring forth, but all prevaricators shall be plucked out like thorns, yet they are not taken away by hands. And if anyone wishes to touch them, he must be armed with iron and a wooden lance, and they shall be set ablaze
Oddly specific.
and burned to nothing. I mean, I'm not gonna question because I don't even know what the fuck a prevaricator is, but you know, you do you. I don't need to know. It's probably stupid, like the rest of this book.
He's Skytis.
I am the largest.
I'm noticing a criminal offense you've committed.
Just one?
For now, just at this particular moment in time, yeah. Why is Alex's camera not on the camera?
I don't know, because Discord
Because
never.
I'm too ugly.
This Discord never. This Discord doesn't show when that he turned this on, so I just assumed he was not cameraing. Hold on, I can probably fix this.
No, you definitely need to fix this.
Oh god, my Discord is having a stroke again on my end. Let's go.
I want to look at his bald head from the stream.
I have some hair.
Where? Well, if that's the only criminal offense, I'm. Oh! Woo!
Look, now my sign is now my sign is useful again.
Almost. I mean, your camera needs to be aimed a little more to the side, but.
Yeah.
Aha! Oh.
And he waddled away.
Come on.
You had one job.
Oh.
Well, aside from all the other jobs you have, but you never work anyway.
Me?
No. You sometimes work, I think.
That's a bold assumption. Just look at him. He doesn't even look like the type that would work.
I mean, it is a bold assumption indeed.
Yes, I do. That was really hurtful.
You're welcome. These are the names of the valiant of David. Sitting in the chair was the wisest leader among us, the three. He was like a very tender little worm in a tree who killed 800 men in one attack. Excuse me, what?
Well, what?
What is going on? Well, is this something an anime?
No, this is a Pokemon apparently. I don't know, but I like this. Keeping it. Oh. Look what hell has wrought upon us.
No, El Bible.
No, hell, not L. It's not French. The H is actually pronounced. After him, there was Elysia, the son of his paternal uncle, an Ahohite, who was among us, the three valiant men who were with David, when they chastised the Philistines, and they were gathered together in battle there. And when the men of Glasgow had gone up, he himself stood fast and struck down the Philistines until his hand grew weak and stiff with the sword. And the Lord wrought a great salvation on that day. And the people who had fled returned to take up the spoils of the slain. And after him there was Shammah, the son of Agi, from Hara. This guy is literally called Agi. I enjoy. I want that to be my name.
Well,
I want to
By
be
the way,
Agi.
we stopped watching Indiana Jones for him to do this.
And the Philistines gathered together at an outpost, for a field full of lentils was in that place. And when the people had fled from the face of the Philistines, he stood fast in the middle of the field, and it was protected by him. And he struck down the Philistines, and the Lord wrought a great salvation. And moreover, before this, the three who were leaders amongst us, the 30, descended and went to David at harvest time in the cave of Adullam. But the camp of the Philistines was positioned in the valley of the giants. Oh no, they're back. And David was in a stronghold. Moreover, there was a garrison of the Philistines at that time in Bethlehem. Then David desired, and he said, "If only someone would give me a drink of the water from the cistern which is in Bethlehem besides the gate." Therefore, the three valiant men burst into the encampment of the Philistines, and they drew water from the cistern of Bethlehem, which was beside the gate. And they brought it to David, yet he was not willing to drink. Instead, he poured it out to the Lord, saying, "May the Lord be gracious to me, so that I may not do this, should I drink the blood of these men who have set out to the peril of their own lives." Therefore, he was not willing to drink. These things were accomplished by these three robust men.
Skytis.
Skytis?
You've been randomly reminded that this video exists, and it's funny. You're welcome.
Thanks. Hablo español también.
Yeah, that one.
Also, Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was first amongst us, the three. It was he who lifted up his spear against 300 men whom he killed. And he was renowned amongst us, the three. And he was the noblest of the three, and he was their leader. But at first he did not attain to the three. And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, a very strong man of great deeds, was from Kabzeel. And he slew the 2 lions of Moab, and he descended and slew a lion in the middle of a den in the days of snow. He also killed an Egyptian who had a spear in his hand, men worthy to behold.
No, alcohol time.
What are you drinking, by the way?
Who?
Both of you.
I'm drinking a Fanti.
What?
I had a Fanti yesterday.
Now, it's a combination of brandy
Yes.
and Fanta.
Sounds disgusting.
Now,
It's Fanti, of course it's disgusting.
Now, the reason this is an extremely fitting name is not only just because the two things conveniently can make up the word Fanti if you really want it to, but also if you drink it with ice and you mix it, if you put quite a lot of alcohol to quite like half and half, you don't actually taste the alcohol in the brandy very much,
Yeah,
like almost at all.
It's just like
So
Fanti. If you put enough ice cubes in your mouth, you also don't taste it.
So you could just drink it straight and get drunk really quickly. So it's a trap, which also just fits with Fanti in every aspect of the word.
Yeah, but drinking straight does not fit with.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh. Anyway, yeah, I have a Fanti.
Currently
Okay.
Jäger energy.
Oh,
Oh!
man of culture.
I'm reading the Bible. Excuse me?
You uncultured swine.
I mean, if I'm seeing this correctly, there's an Alienware logo to the side visible in his camera.
No,
So
that's just a regular alien.
okay, good.
Yeah, speaking of uncultured swine.
Oh shit, you can actually see the reflection of my screen.
Nice.
Good
You
that
better not be
you
watching any
finally
porn.
realize.
If you want to watch porn, you have to, not do that.
Yeah, I know. Don't want to get Skytis banned.
And yet he had gone down to him with only a staff, and he forced the spear from the hand of the Egyptian, and he killed him with his own spear. Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, accomplished these things, and he was renowned amongst us, the 3 robust men, who were the most noble amongst us, the 30. Yet truly he did not attain to the 3 until David made him his secret advisor. Amongst us, the 30 were Asahel, the brother of Joab, Elhanan, the son of his paternal uncle from Bethlehem, Shammah from Harod, Elika from Harod. God, I hate it when people leak. Fucking Elika. Elis from Palti, Ira, the son of Ikish.
What are you talking about?
The person is called Elika.
I don't get it either.
The person is called Elika.
Right, yeah, cool. Okay.
They're a leaker, so they leak information. Yes? Are you familiar with the term?
It's so bad. You're fucking grasping at straws at this point. I think you're getting close to your fucking retirement age, boy.
I don't even have a car. How would I retire anything?
Also, there are some leakers who are true heroes.
Oh.
Leaker?
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna leak in your cereal.
But I hardly know her. Ira, the son of Ikesh, from Tekoa. Abiezer, from Anathoth. Anathoth, Mebunai, Mebunai, what the fuck is that name? From Husha, Zalmon, the Ahohite, Maharai, the Netophathite, Eleb, the son of Bana, but I hardly know her.
Did
Also,
invent some words.
yeah.
Like-
Also himself a Netophathite, Ittai, the son of Ribai, from Gibeah, of the sons of Benjamin, Benaiah, the pirate Honite, Hiddai from the torrent of Gash, Abialbon, the Arbathite, Asmaveth from Beromi, Eliaba from Shalbon, the sons of Jashan, Jonathan, Shamaf from Rory, Ahiam, the son of Shara, the Hararite, Eliphalet, the son of Ahasbai, the son of Machath, Eliam, the son of Ahithophel, the Gilonite, Ezrai from Carmel, Parai from Arbi, Igal, the son of Nathan, from Zobah, Bani from Gad, Zelek from Ammon, Naharai, the Berothite, the armor bearer of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, Ira, the Ithrite, Garab, also an Ithrite, Uriah, the Hittite.
The longer
Altogether,
this goes on, the lower
37.
my opinion of this book will be.
I'm pretty sure we need a drinking rule for unnecessarily long list of names that will be completely irrelevant. Yeah. Ah, thanks. Yeah, that's not a rule yet, but I'm gonna drink anyway. Fuck you.
Yeah, right. You fucking convinced me.
Drinking rule: you have to drink whenever the other person drinks.
My fucking god.
Well, I just drank, so you have to drink, Teras. 2 Samuel 24. And the fury of the Lord was again kindled against Glasgow, and he stirred up David amongst them, saying, Go, number Glasgow and Judah. And the king said to Joab, the leader of his army, Travel through all the tribes of Glasgow, from Dan to Beersheba, and number the people, so that I may know their number. And Joab said to the king, May the Lord your Skytis increase your people, who are already great in number, and may he again increase them 100-fold in the sight of my lord the king. But what does my lord the king intend for himself by this kind of thing? But the words of the king prevailed over the words of Joab and the leaders of the army. And so Joab and the leaders of the military departed from the face of the king, so that they might number the people of Glasgow. And when they had passed across the Jordan, they arrived at Aroer, to the right of the city, which is in the valley of Gad. And they continued on through Jazer, into Gilead, and to the lower land of Hotzi. You like jazz? Sorry, Jazir. And they arrived in the woodland of Dan, and going around beside Sidon, they passed near the walls of Tyre, and near all the land of the Hivite and the Canaanite. And they went into the south of Judah to Beersheba, and having inspected the entire land, after 9 months and 20 days, they were present in Jerusalem. Then Joab gave the number of the description of the people to the king, and there were found of Glasgow 800,000 able-bodied men who might draw the sword, and of Judah 500,000 fighting men. Then the heart of David struck him, and after the people were numbered, and David said to the Lord, wait a moment.
What?
Hold on. Give me a moment. I need to check something.
I'm giving you a moment. Okay.
Okay, no, never mind. We're good. Where the fuck was I? I thought that was a very, very, very subtle Lord spoke to David at the beginning, but it wasn't. And David said to the Lord, I have sinned greatly in what I have done, but I pray that you, O Lord, may take away the iniquity of your servant, for I have acted very foolishly. Same. And David rose up in the morning, and the word of the Lord went to Gad, and the prophet and seer of David, saying, Go and say to David, Thus says the Lord. Does that count? Thus says the Lord. Actually, it's not addressed at anyone. Never mind. I present to you a choice of 3 things. Choose one of these,
not 3.
whichever you will, so that I may do it to you. And when Gad had gone to David, he announced it to him, saying, either 7 years of famine will come, to you in your land, or you will flee for 3 months from your adversaries, and they will pursue you, or there will be a pestilence in your land for 3 days. Now then, deliberate and see what word I may respond to him who sent me. Then,
when do you have to say ooh?
Whenever it says so in the book.
Yeah, but when does it say so in the book?
Whenever there's the character U and then a W and then another U.
It's literally in the book.
Don't you Teras, can you send him the management sheet so he can?
I'll send him the important documents.
You can just check the replace list to figure the rest out yourself. And then David said to Gad, I am in great anguish, but it is better that I should not. But it is better that I should fall into the hands of the Lord, for his mercies are many, than into the hands of men. And the Lord sent a pestilence upon Glasgow from the morning until the appointed time. And there died of the people from Dan to Beersheba 70,000 men. And when the angel of the Lord had extended his hand over Jerusalem so that he might destroy it, the Lord took pity on the affliction.
Pity on the fool.
And he said to the angel who was striking the people, this is the Lord saying to the angel. It is a very subtle one, but cheers. It is enough. Hold back your hand now. And the angel of the Lord was beside the threshing floor of Araunah, the Walmart branch Jesus side.
I see.
And when he had seen the angel cutting down the people, David said to the Lord, I am the one who sinned. I have acted iniquitously. These ones who are the sheep, what have they done? I beg you that your hand may be turned against me and against my daddy's house. Then Gad went on to David on that day, and he said, ascend and construct an altar to the Lord on the threshing floor of Araunah, the Walmart branch Jesus side. And David ascended in accord with the work of Gad, which the Lord had commanded to him. And, looking out, Araunah turned his attention to the king, and his servants passing toward him. And going out, he adored the king, lying prone with his face on the ground, and he said, what is the reason that my lord the king has come, to his servant? And David said to him, so as to purchase the threshing floor from you, to build an altar to the Lord, and to quiet the plague that rages amongst us, the people. And Araunah said to David, may my lord the king offer and accept whatever is pleasing to him. You have coxen for a holocaust, and the cart and the yokes of the coxen to use for wood. All these things Araunah gave as a king to a king. And Araunah said to the king, may the Lord your Skytis accept your vow. And in response, the king said to him, it shall not be as you wish. Instead, I will purchase it from you at a price, for I will not offer to the Lord my Skytis holocaust that cost nothing. Therefore, David bought the threshing floor and the coxen for 50 shekels of silver. And in that place, David built an altar to the Lord, and he offered holocausts and peace offerings. And the Lord was gracious to the land, and the plague was held back from Glasgow. The end. Roll credits.
Oh no.
Fucking finally.
Harris,
Yes.
we're rolling credits.
Hold on, I'm doing something very important.
The book is over, actually.
Oh, is it? Wonderful.
Why did it change Israel to Glasgow?
Because it's funny.
Hmm.
Alright, okay. Oh, this was this book shorter, or am I just fucking... Or is it just because we've done it back to back?
Shorter, I'm also reading probably a little faster. And also back to back, I guess. But I mean, we started it last session, so it's only been 24 chapters. It's rather short.
I do not enjoy.
Damn it, this doesn't work. Whatever, we'll just... Enjoyability, you give it a 6.
I enjoyed it less than the last one.
It did have all the incest stuff, though. And the rape and all that.
Oh, nice.
I think for me it's more on par with it, so I'm giving it a 7. Characters.
No.
We didn't really have any new characters. It's still just the same ones.
I mean, at least Jacob was mentioned again. That was a fun little throwback.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think if there was any interesting development or anything the characters.
I don't think so, funnily enough.
So they just reused the characters, but like there was no like.
I mean, to be fair, it was sequel. You know, this was a direct sequel.
Yeah,
so,
but
you know.
David didn't have the option to kill his enemy, and then he decided not to. So there was no interesting character development. So, 6, probably a high 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, writing.
Less. They had a big, long, repeating bit I did not enjoy.
Just
and
one.
Everything was on par, and then they had probably I wasn't listening. Probably had more.
Yeah,
it definitely had a level of annoyance.
Yeah. Plot. It's just the previous plot kind of repeated. Yeah, that David is king. He has struggles, but everybody wants to kill him, and then he just managed to kill everybody. And then he upsets Skytis, and then wow, 2 days of pestilence or whatever. Kinda boring, honestly. But I'm thinking like around a 6, maybe a high 6, because I think it was better than Leviticus. Leviticus was plot-wise not much. Joshua, yeah. I'm trying to think what happened during the book of... Well, actually, Joshua had better plot. No, I'm giving it a 6 for your book.
You know what? I agree with that one.
Comedy.
Yeah, no.
Well, we had the incest and the rape. That was...
I suppose, yeah, it was entertaining.
But other than that, I'm trying to think...
This is what is gonna get you cancelled, like, in 9 years or so.
Okay.
Sold. And at that point, I just wear it like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
I would definitely say worse, but not much. So I think it's like a low 7. Yeah. Kinky. Oh wow. Oh. Yeah. Kinky.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Yes.
I'm trying to think if there was anything that would make it a 10, but I'm thinking like a 9. That was.
You know what? I'm gonna live up with wiggle room and leave it at 8. Just because just leave some wiggle room for later, you know.
Well, at least you left some wiggle room, unlike Mr. Amnon, who did not leave any wiggle room for his sister.
Oh no. She did not wiggle free.
Interesting. Same rating, basically.
Surprisingly similar, yeah.
Very interesting.
So it's yeah, it's alright. So it's
like not too surprising for a sequel.
It's on par with like Leviticus and Exodus.
Yeah.
Which is I guess that's not too bad then. Like,
comedy is tragedy plus time and incest, apparently. Somebody figured out the formula.
Also, comedy is sometimes just incest.
You have an interesting family.
Send pics.
The first book of Kings.
Okay, I've got. Okay, right. I'm gonna stop you right there, bub. I'm gonna stop you right there. I just added a new drinking rule.
Mm-hmm. in the Bible
Can you replace
specifically.
kings with alpha males?
I didn't. I wasn't that. I didn't. Let's go to the other thing.
What?
Eh, which one did you add?
Hold on. Let me. You know what? I'm gonna remove it and then I'm gonna fix it. Hold on. I put it in the wrong bit. So
The last
Hold
one is
on.
alcoholism mentioned.
yeah. I put it in the wrong bit.
You suck.
I just put it. Hold on. I'm not allowed to paste it. Okay. Hold on.
Does this count retroactively?
It starts now. We've just finished Samuel 2. We've not started Kings yet.
Okay. I mean, this one is not going to come into play a lot, so I don't really see anything against it.
Well, this will be like a nice future investment because at some point, obviously we know that some of the rules over time stop being active, so it's like a nice investment for the future.
Like your brain when you had too much alcohol. Okay, let's try this again. The first book of Kings. 1 Kings 1. Now King David had become
David's a king.
elderly, and he had many days in his lifetime. And though he was covered with clothes, he was not warmed. Therefore his servants said to him, "Let us seek for our lord the king a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and warm him, and sleep in his bosom, and provide warmth for our lord the king." Ah, yes, cock warmer. I mean, what?
Hello? Send pics.
And so they sought a beautiful young woman in all the parts of Glasgow. And they found Abishag.
Oh no.
She's literally... She's literally called Abishag.
Brilliant.
Teras,
Yes.
I have a proposition.
Oh no. Got a proposition.
I do. You will enjoy it. I
Go
think.
on, then.
At the very least, you won't hate it.
What about
Replace Abishag with Abishaggy.
Sold.
And they found Abishaggy, a Shunammite, and they led her to the king. Now, the girl was exceedingly beautiful, and she slept with the king, and she ministered to him. Yet truly, the king did not know her. But he hardly knew her. Then Adonijah, Adonijah, the son of Haggith. It still says Haggith. Why does it not say Hagrid? Fuck. Then Adonijah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, "I shall reign."
Where Shaggy?
I literally highlighted it. Are you?
You did, but you later. Oh, there it is.
And he appointed for himself chariots and horsemen with 50 men who would run before him. Neither did his daddy chastise him at any time, saying, "Why have you done this?" Now he, too, was very beautiful, the second in birth after Absalom. And he conferred with Joab, the son of Zeruiah, and with Abiathar, the priest, who gave assistance to the side of Adonijah. Is Adonijah anything like a swear jar?
I don't know. Are we putting money in it? Does it accept coins?
Currency can be exchanged for goods and services.
Please give me all of your money.
Yet truly, Zadok, the priest, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, and Nathan, the prophet, and Shimei and Ray, the mature men, and the mature men of the army of David, were not with Adonijah. Then Adonijah, having immolated rams and calves and every kind of fat cattle beside the stone of the serpent, which was in the vicinity of the fountain Rogel, summoned all his brothers, the sons of the king, and all the men of Judah, the servants of the king. But he did not summon Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah, and all the mature men, and Solomon his brother. And so Nathan said to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, "Have you not heard that Adonijah, the son of Haggith, has begun to reign, and that our Lord David is ignorant of this? Now then, come, accept my counsel, and save your life, and the life of your son Solomon. Go, and enter to King David, and say to him, Did you not, my lord the king, swear to me, your handmaid, saying, your son Solomon shall reign after me, and he himself shall sit on my throne. And then why does Adonijah reign? And while you are still speaking with the king there, I will enter after you, and I will complete your words." And so Bathsheba entered to the king in the bedroom. Now the king was very old, and Abishagi the Shunammite was ministering to him. Bathsheba bowed herself, and she reverenced the king. And the king said to her, "What do you wish?" And responding, she said, "My lord, you swore to your handmaid by the Lord your Skytis, your son Solomon will reign after me, and he himself shall sit upon my throne. And now, behold, Adonijah reigns while you, my lord the king, are ignorant of it. He has slain oxen and every kind of fattened cattle and many rams. And he has summoned all the sons of the king, as well as Abiathar the priest and Joab the leader of the military. But Solomon, your servant, he did not summon."
Hey, Skytis, hey. Can you use that voice next time you're talking dirty to me?
"I am the lord your terror." What? "Truly now, my lord the king, the eyes of all of Glasgow look with favor upon you, that you may indicate to them who ought to sit upon your throne, my lord the king, after you. Otherwise this will be, when my lord the king sleeps with his daddies, and I and my son Solomon will be as sinners."
Salmon.
Okay, well, I've sick. I
Salmon.
sent salmon pigs.
Fish with 2 E's.
And while she was still speaking with the king, Nathan, the prophet, arrived, and they announced to the king, saying, "Nathan the prophet is here." And when he had entered in the sight of the king, and he had reverence prone on the ground, Nathan said, "My lord the king, did you say, Let Adonijah reign after me, and let him sit upon my throne? For today he descended, and he immolated oxen and fattened cattle and many rams. And he summoned all the sons of the king and the leaders of the army, along with Abiathar the priest. And they are eating and drinking before him, and saying, As King Adonijah lives. But he did not summon me, your servant, and Zadok the priest, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and Solomon, your lowly servant. Could this word have gone out from my lord the king, and could you not have revealed it to me, your servant, as to who would be seated upon the throne of my lord the king after him?" And King David responded, saying, "Summon to me Bathsheba." And when she had entered before the king, and she had stood before him, the king swore and said, "As the Lord lives, who has rescued my soul from all distress, just as I swore to you by the Lord Skytis of Glasgow, saying, Your son Solomon shall reign after me, and he himself shall sit upon my throne in my place. So shall I do this day." And Bathsheba, having lowered her face to the ground, reverenced the king, saying, "May my lord David live forever." And King David said, "Summon to me Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada." And when they had entered before the king, he said to them, "Take with you the servants of your lord, and place my son Solomon upon my mule, and lead him to Gihon. And let Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, anoint him in that place as the king over Glasgow. And you shall sound the trumpet, and you shall say, As King Solomon lives. You shall ascend after him, and he shall arrive, and shall sit upon my throne. And he himself shall reign in my place, and I will command that he be ruler over Glasgow and over Judah." And Benaiah the son of Jehoiada responded to the king, saying, "Amen. So says the Lord, the Skytis of my lord the king. In the same way that the Lord has been with my lord the king, so may he be with Solomon, and may he make and may he make his throne more sublime than the throne of my lord, King David. Then Zadok, the priest, and Nathan, the prophet, descended with Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, and the Cherethites and the Pelethites. And they placed Solomon on the mule of King David, and they led him to Gihon. And Zadok, the priest, took the horn of oil from the Skytis tent, and he anointed Solomon. And they sounded the trumpet, and all the people said, As King Solomon lives. And the entire multitude ascended after him, and the people were playing on pipes and rejoicing with a great joy. And the
pipe.
Go on.
What?
Thanks, Teras. And the earth resounded before the noise of them. Then Adonijah and all who had been summoned by him heard it. And now the feast had ended. Then too Joab, hearing the voice of the trumpet, said, What is the meaning of this clamor from the tumultuous city? While he was speaking, Jonathan, the son of Abiathar, the priest, arrived. And Adonijah said to him, Enter, for you are a valiant man, and you report good news. And Jonathan answered Adonijah, By no means, for our Lord King David has appointed Solomon as king. And he has sent with him Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and the Cherethites and the Pelethites. And they have placed him on the mule of the king. And Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet have anointed him king at Gihon. And they are ascending from there, rejoicing, and so the city resounds. This is the noise that you have heard. But also, Solomon sits upon the throne of the kingdom, and your servants of the king, entering, have blessed our Lord King David, saying, May Skytis amplify the name of Solomon above your name, and may he magnify his throne above your throne. And the king reverenced from his bed, and he said, Blessed is the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow, who today has bestowed someone to sit upon my throne while my eyes may see it. Therefore all those who had been summoned by Adonijah were terrified, and they all rose up, and each one went his own way. Then Adonijah, fearing Solomon, rose up and went away, and he took hold of the horn of the altar. And they reported to Solomon, saying, Behold, Adonijah, fearing King Solomon, has taken hold of the horn of the altar, saying, May King Solomon swear to me on this day that he will not put to death with one F his servant with the sword. See. And Solomon said, If he is a good man, not so much as one hair of his head shall fall to the ground, but if evil is found in him, he shall die. Therefore King Solomon sent and brought him from the altar, and entering he reverenced King Solomon. And Solomon said to him, Go to your own house.
No.
Just love the end of the chapter. And King said to him, Fuck off. 1 Kings 2.
Oh no.
Now the days of David had drawn near so that he would die. And he instructed his son Solomon, saying, I am entering the way of all the earth. Be strengthened and be a good man, and observe the care of the Lord your Skytis, so that you walk in his ways, and so that you care for his ceremonies and his precepts and judgments and testimonies, just as it is written in the law of osmosis. So may you understand everything that you do, in any direction that you may turn yourself. So may the Lord confirm his words which he has spoken about me, saying, If your sons will guard their ways, and if they will walk before me in truth with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not be taken away from you a man on the throne of Glasgow. Also, you know that Joab, the son of Zeruiah, has done to me, what he did to the 2 leaders of the army of Glasgow, to Abner, the son of Ner, and to Amasa, the son of Jether. He killed them, and so he shed the blood of war in peacetime. And he set the bloodshed of battle on his belt, which was around his waist, and in his shoes, which were on his feet, which is usually where a belt and shoes are, respectively, but thank you. Shoe on head or pre-recorded? I mean, what? Therefore, act according to your wisdom, and you shall not allow his grey head to be led away to death with one F.
Skytis.
Then too, repay grace to the sons of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and I shall
Skytis.
allow them to eat at your table. Yes.
Skytis.
Yes.
What's that thing on top of your head?
What? Huh?
Why is there an object upon your head?
What? What do you mean? Huh?
It took me a while because I wasn't actually looking at what the fuck was going on. But yeah,
sure,
why?
yeah, whatever you say, Teras. For they met me when I fled from the face of Absalom, your brother. Also, you. What is that? Can you stop? I'm trying to read.
I have a request to make.
Go ahead.
Can you please look down?
Are you happy now?
Why is it attached to the top of your head? Why is it so thoroughly attached? What the fuck is that?
Teras has not paid any attention. Also, you have with you Shimei, the son of Gera, the son of Benjamin from Bahurim, who cursed me with a grievous curse when I went away to the camp, and he descended to meet me when I crossed over the Jordan. And I swore to him by the Lord, saying, I will not put you to death with one F by the sword. Yet do not choose to treat him as if he were innocent. Since you are a wise man, you will know what to do with him, and you shall lead away his grey hair to death with one F with blood. And so, David slept with his daddies, and he was buried in the city of David. Eris.
Yes.
David is dead.
No, not again.
What do you mean again?
I don't know, there's shit happening everywhere. Who knows what's going on?
I mean, drinking is definitely a good way to cope with the sadness, but I just wanted you to be aware that he is now dead.
My condolences.
Now, the days during which David reigned over Glasgow are 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron, 33 in Jerusalem.
Days are 40 years? Like,
it's a very long day.
Kinda...
Yes. Go ahead. Go on.
Isn't that a pretty weird way to phrase it? Like, the days were 40 years.
You're complaining about the phrasing in...
Fuck.
Boy, have you read the Bible before?
No, I haven't, in fact. Thanks for asking.
You are so welcome. Trust me, even in this session today already, there have been so many terrible writing style things. This is one you choose to point out? You do you. And then Solomon sat upon the throne of his daddy, David, and his kingdom was strengthened exceedingly. And Adonijah, the son of Haggith, entered to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, and she said to him, Is your entrance peaceful? And he responded, It is peaceful. And he added, My word is for you. She said to him, Speak. And he said, You know that the kingdom was mine, and that all of Glasgow had preferred me for themselves as a king, but the kingdom was transferred and has become, my brother's, for it was appointed to him by the Lord. Now therefore, I beg you, I beg of you one petition. May you not confound my face. And she said to him, Speak. And he said, I beg that you may speak to King Solomon, for he is not able to refuse anything to you, so that he may give Abishagi the Shunammite to me as a wife. And Bathsheba said, It is well, I will speak to the king on your behalf. Then Bathsheba went to King Solomon, so that she might speak to him on behalf of Adonijah. And the king rose up to meet her, and he reverenced her, and he sat down upon his throne. And a throne was stationed for the mother of the king, and she sat at his right hand. And she said to him, I petition one small request from you. May you not confound my face. And the king said to her, Ask my mother. For it is not right that I turn away your face. And she said, Let Abishagi the Shunammite be given to Adonijah, your brother, as a wife. And King Solomon responded, and he said to his mother, Why do you request Abishagi the Shunammite for Adonijah? Why not request the kingdom for him? For he is my older brother, and he is Abiathar the priest, and Joab the son of Zeruiah. Same. And so King Solomon swore by the Lord, saying, May Skytis do these things to me, and may he add these other things. They're really into addition. For Adonijah has spoken this word against his own life. And now, as the Lord lives, who has confirmed me and placed me upon the throne of my daddy, David, and who, just as he said, has made a house for me, Adonijah shall be put to death with one F this day. Wait, what? Huh? What the fuck did I just read?
Some dude wants to bang some chick.
Seems
You're
legit.
welcome.
So his mom says, give Abishagi to your brother. And then he says, why? Why not just ask me to give the kingdom to him? He's my older brother. And then he swore, may Skytis do all these things to me? Or Adonijah has spoken this word against. So apparently Adonijah needs to die now. Sure. And King Solomon sent by the hand of Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, who put him to death with one F, and so he died. Which is usually what happens when you get put to death with one F. You die. Which is what happens when you get put to death with one F. Which is when you die. Which is what happens when you get put to death with one F. Which is very redundant. Welcome to the Bible. Also, the king said to Abiathar, the priest, Go into Anathoth, to your own land, for you are a man worthy of death with one F. But I will not pursue you to death with one F. For this day, I will not pursue you to death with one F this day, since you carried the ark of the Lord Skytis before David, my daddy, since you have endured hardship in all the things from which my daddy labored. Therefore, Solomon cast out Abiathar so that he would not be the priest of the Lord, so that the word of the Lord might be fulfilled, which he spoke over the house of Eli at Shiloh. And the news came to Joab, for Joab had turned aside after Adonijah, and he had not turned aside after Solomon. And so Joab fled into the Skytis tent of the Lord, and he took hold of the horn of the altar. And it was reported to King Solomon that Joab had fled into the Skytis tent of the Lord, and that he was beside the altar. And Solomon sent Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, saying, Go, put him to death with one F. And Benaiah went to the Skytis tent of the Lord, and he said to him, The king says this, come out. But he
was like, I'm gay.
Same. I mean, what?
I'm gay, that would be.
No, it's the meme where the guy jumps off the table. And then just jumps off the table. I'm gay.
I have osteoporosis.
I miss Adubs.
But he said, I will not come out. Instead, I will die here. Benaiah sent word back to the king, saying, Joab said this, and he responded to me in this way. And the king said to him, Do just as he has said, and put him to death with one F, and bury him. And so shall you take away the innocent blood which was shed by Joab from me and from my daddy's house. And the Lord shall repay his blood upon his own head, for he killed 2 men just and better than himself. And he killed them with one sword, while my daddy, David, did not know it. Abner, the son of Ner, leader of the military of Glasgow, and Amasa, the son of Jether, the leader of the army of Judah. And their blood shall be turned back upon the head of Joab, and upon the head of his offspring forever. But as for David, and his offspring, and house, and his throne, may there be peace from the Lord, even unto eternity. And so Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, went up, and attacking him, put him to death with one F. And he was buried in his own house in the desert. And the king appointed Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, in his place over the army. And he appointed Zadok, the priest, in place of Abiathar. Also, the king sent for and summoned Shimei, and he said to him, "Build a house for yourself in Jerusalem and live there, and do not depart from that place to here or to there. For on whatever day you will have departed, you cross the torrent Kidron, know that you shall be put to death with one F, for your blood will be upon your own head." Basically, build yourself a house and then never leave the home again, or you will die.
Seems legit.
Thanks.
The game alive.
True. Except they didn't have games back then. And Shimei said to the king, "The word is good, just as my lord the king has said, so will your servant do." And so Shimei lived in Jerusalem for many days. But it happened that, after 3 years, the servants of Shimei fled to Achish, the son of Maacah, the king of Gath. And it was reported to Shimei that his servants had gone away to Gath. And Shimei rose up, and he saddled his donkey, and he went away to Achish in Gath, in order to seek his servants. And he led them away from Gath. And it was reported to Solomon that Shimei had gone away from Jerusalem to Gath, and had returned. And sending, he summoned him, and he said to him, "Did I not testify to you by the Lord, and warn you in advance? On whatever day, having departed, you go forth, to here or to there, know that you shall die." And you responded to me, "The word that I have heard is good." Then why have you not kept the oath to the Lord, and the commandment which I instructed to you? And the king said to Shimei, "You know all the evil of which your heart is conscious, which you did to David, my daddy. The Lord has repaid your wickedness upon your own head. And King Solomon shall be blessed, and King Solomon shall be blessed, and the throne of David shall be established before the Lord even forever." And so the king commanded Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada. And going out, he struck him down, and he died.
What?
Somebody died.
Oh, okay. I'll drink anyway.
Good boy. 1 Kings 3. And so the kingdom was confirmed in the hand of Solomon, and he was joined with Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, by affinity. For he took his daughter and he led her into the city of David, until he completed building his own house, and the house of the Lord, and the wall of Jerusalem all around. But still, the people immolated in the high places. For no temple had been built to the name of the Lord even to that day. Now Solomon loved the Lord, walking in precepts of David, his daddy, except that he immolated in the high places and he burned incense. Relatable. I mean, what? And so he went away to Gibeon Plis, so that he might immolate there, for that was the greatest high place. Solomon offered upon that altar at Gibeon Plis 1,000 victims as holocausts. Then the Lord appeared to Solomon through a dream in the night, saying, "Harris is not paying attention. However, he might realize soon that he does, in fact, have to drink."
To be fair, that was kind of a curveball.
Yeah, but the
Lord wasn't in Lord spoke to X. That one was kind of wrapped up in you know.
Yeah, and the Lord spoke to Egg, saying, "Egg, request whatever you wish, so that I may give it to you." Ooh. And Solomon said, "You have shown great mercy to your servant David, my daddy, because he walked in your sight in truth and justice, and with an upright heart before you. And you have kept your great mercy for him, and you have given him a son sitting upon his throne, just as it is this day. And now, O Lord Skytis, you have caused your servant to reign in place of David, my daddy. But I am a small child, and I am ignorant of my entrance and departure. And your servant is in the midst of the people that you have chosen, an immense people who are not able to be numbered or counted because of their multitude. Therefore, give to your servant a teachable heart, so that he may be able to judge your people and to discern between good and evil. For who will be able to judge this people, your people, who are so many?" And the word was pleasing before the Lord, that Solomon had requested this kind of thing. And the Lord said to Solomon, since Teras is not paying attention, he will soon notice. I highlighted it for you.
Yeah, I need a top up.
Why get a top up when you could do a top less stream?
Because last time I tried doing that, you told me I'm not allowed.
No, I told you I wasn't sure. I checked the rules and I repeatedly told you if you want to be shirtless, that is within the rules, so you could, as long as you don't make it sexual.
See, that's the problem. Because we both know I'm not capable of that. I'll be sitting there half the stream just rubbing my nipples.
You were trying to say, Alex?
What's the point then in being shirtless when you can't make it sexual?
Probably just less heat.
Asserting dominance.
You're allowed to do it if it's, well, whatever normal reason.
We'll consider it once it gets more towards summer. And it actually starts being warm again.
Summer?
Bro, shut the fuck up.
And the Lord said to Solomon, since you have requested this word, and you have not asked for many days or for wealth yourself, nor for the lives of your enemies, but instead you requested for yourself wisdom in order to discern judgment, behold, I have done for you according to your word, and I have given you a wise and understanding heart, so much so that there has been no one like you before, nor anyone who will rise up after you. But also the things for which you did not ask I have given to you, namely wealth and glory, so that no one has been like you among us, the kings, in all the days before. And if you will walk in my days and keep my precepts and my commandments just as your daddy walked, I will lengthen your days. I don't want a longer day. I want something else to be longer. I mean, what?
Question mark.
Yes, very much so indeed. And then Solomon awakened, and he understood that it was a dream. And when he had arrived in Jerusalem, he stood before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord, and he offered holocausts and made victims of peace offerings, and he held a great feast for all his servants. Then 2 women harlots went to the king, and they stood before him. And one of them said, I beg you, my lord, I and this woman were living in one house, and I gave birth with her in the room. Then on the 3rd day after I gave birth, she also gave birth, and we were together, with no other person with us in the house, only the 2 of us. Then this woman's son died in the night, for while sleeping she smothered him. And rising up in the silent depth of the night, she took my son from my side, while I, your handmaid, was sleeping, and she set him in her bosom. Then she placed her dead son in my bosom. And while I had arisen in the morning, so that I might give milk to my son, he appeared to be dead. But gazing upon him more diligently in the light of day, I realized that he was not mine, whom I had borne.
Interesting.
What? What? King, this woman, who's also my roommate, I gave birth, and then 3 days later she gave birth. And then she smothered her son, changed places of her dead son and my son, and then I caught on to her when I looked at my son more closely and realized it wasn't my son. What? Call it an emergency meeting. We have an imposter. What the fuck? And the other woman responded, it is not such as you say. Instead, your son is dead, but mine is alive. To the contrary, she said, you are lying, for my son lives and your son is dead. Oh wait, is this the one where is this the story that we all know?
Please only speak for yourself.
No, you know the story. You literally.
Sure.
Yeah, you will soon.
Why would I know this
You will
story?
find out soon enough. If it is what I'm thinking, you will understand. To the contrary,
Disturbing, that's what it is.
shut the fuck up. To the contrary,
Fuck
she said,
you.
"You are lying, for my son lives, and your son is dead." And in this manner they were contending before the king. Then said the king, "This one says, my son is alive, and your son is dead." And the other responds,
Oh,
"No,
is it the one where
instead
he
your
cuts the
son is
son in
dead,
half?
but mine lives." And therefore the king said, "Bring a sword to me." And when they had brought a sword before the king, he said, "Divide the living infant into 2 parts, and give a half part to the one and a half part to the other." But the woman whose son was alive said to the king, for her heart was moved concerning her son, "I beg you, my lord, give the living infant to her, and do not kill him." To the contrary, the other said, "Let it be neither for me nor for you. Instead, divide it." The king responded and said, "Give the living infant to this woman, and do not kill it, for she is his mother." Then all of Glasgow heard about the judgment that the king has judged, and they feared the king, seeing that the wisdom of Skytis was in him to accomplish judgment. I told you you'd fucking know it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Cut my child into pieces. We have an imposter aboard.
Ooh.
He was venting, no breathing. You're welcome.
Silence, you wench.
Please stick to guitar.
1 Kings 4. Now King Solomon was reigning over all of Glasgow, and these were the leaders that he had: Azariah, the son of Zadok, the priest; Elihoreph, and Ahijah, the sons of Shisha,
Yeah?
the scribes. Shisha. It literally says Shisha.
Okay.
Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, the keeper of records; Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, over the army; and Zadok and Abiathar, priests; Azariah, the son of Nathan, over those who were assisting the king; Zabad, the son of Nathan, the priest, the friend of the king; and Ahisha, first ruler of the house; and Adoniram, the son of Abda, over the tribute. And Solomon had 12 commanders over all of Glasgow, who offered yearly provisions for the king and his house, for each was ministering the necessities by each month of the year. And these are their names. Oh boy. Ben-Hur.
No.
Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur? What on Mount Ephraim.
Fuck you.
Dicker. Dicker?
Oh!
In Meccas and in Shelbim. Shelbim?
Doesn't even make sense.
But I
Fuck
hardly
you.
know him. What do you mean?
This is just becoming increasingly
Fuck
more upsetting.
you. Shelbim, I hardly know him. Fuck you. And in Beth Shemesh. And in Elon. And in Beth Hanan. Ben Hesed in Arubboth. His was Soko. And the entire land of Hefer. Ben Abinadab, to whom was all of Nephath Dor, who had Tephath, the daughter of Solomon, as wife. Abana, but I hardly know her, the son of Ahilud, who was reigning in Tanakh, and Megiddo, and all of Bethshean, which is beside Zarethan, and below Jezreel, from Bethshean as far as Abel Meholah, opposite Jokmeam.
Just one hole.
No Jokmeam.
No, ma'am.
Ben Geber in Ramoth. What? Ben Geber in Ramoth Gilead, who had the town of Jair, the son of Manasseh, in Gilead. The same was first in the entire region of Argob, which is in Bashan, 60 great cities with walls that had bronze bars. Ahinadab, the son of Iddo, who was first in Mahanaim, Ahimaaz, and in Naphtali. And he also had base math. Yes, this is literally called base math. My favorite city. The city? No, wait, that's a woman. Actually, why? I'm so I don't even know where. I'm so confused what I'm even reading. Apparently, base math is the name of a woman. Okay, sure. And he also had base math, the daughter of Solomon, in marriage. Bana, but how do you know her? The son of Hushai, in Asher, and in Bealoth. Jehoshaphat, the son of Parua, in Issachar. Shimei the son of Elah in Benjamin, Geber the son of Uri in the land of Gilead. In the land of Gilead, in the land of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and of Og, king of Bashan, over all who were in that land. Judah and Glasgow were innumerable, like the sand of the sea in the multitude, eating and drinking and rejoicing. Now Solomon had in his dominion all the kingdoms from the river to the land of the Philistines, even to the border of Egypt. And they offered gifts to him, and they served him all the days of his life. And the provisions of Solomon for each day were 30 kor of fine wheat flour and 60 kor of meal, 10 fattened oxen and 20 oxen from the pastures and 100 rams, aside from the venison of stags, roe deer and gazelles and fattened poultry. Wait. So for each day, he gets 30 kor, whatever that is, of wheat flour, 60 kor of meal, 10 fattened oxen, 20 oxen from the pasture, 100 rams, and then other things. Now, I thought Teras was eating a lot, but holy fuck.
Crunchy.
Can't wait to see the credits for the Bible. Oh, if only you knew. Teras remembers.
God.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, that's gonna be. Yep. For he had obtained the entire region which was beyond the river, from Bifsa as far as Gaza, and all the kings of those regions. And he had peace on every side all around. And so Judah and Glasgow were living without any fear, each one under his own vine and under his own fig tree, from Dan as far as Beersheba, during all the days of Solomon. And Solomon had 40,000 stalls of chariot horses and 12,000 riding horses. And the above stated commanders of the king nourished these. And they also offered the necessities for the table of King Solomon with immense diligence, and each in his time. Also, they brought barley and straw for the horses and beasts of burden to the place where the king was, just as it was appointed to them. And Skytis gave wisdom to Solomon, and an exceedingly great prudence, and a spacious heart, like the sand which is on the shore of the sea. And the wisdom of Solomon surpassed the wisdom of all the East and of the Egyptians. And he was wiser than all men, wiser than Ethan, the Ezrahite, and Heman, and Kelkol, and Darda, the sons of Mahol. And he was renowned in all the nations on every side. Solomon also spoke 3,000 parables, and his verses were 1,005. And he discoursed about trees, from cedar, which is in Lebanon, to the hyssop which grows out from the wall. And he explained about beasts, and birds, and reptiles, and fish. And they came from all the peoples in order to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and from all the kings of the earth who were hearing about his wisdom. Hey, your sign lines up again.
What?
Exactly.
What line's up again?
You're stupid.
Oh, I see.
Any final words?
Don't drink and drive unless you're going to get more alcohol.
Sure, yes.
I can get behind that. And by that, I mean the wheel. I mean what?
You can't stop me.
I can't drink. I mean what? I think we shall depart. You have survived another day, Teras. Surprisingly.
I don't know.
That was a close one.
No, it really wasn't. We've had sessions with way more queues, like Monday. Within the first 10 minutes of reading, I think we had 5 drinks already on Monday. Today was pretty tame.
Yeah, today we didn't get much until like 20 minutes in.
Ooh. Oh, hold on. Well, Paris will be here again tomorrow.
I won't. Fuck this.
Why?
Gay.
You know why.
What are you gay?
Okay, where are we going?
No, okay, I'm gonna head out, kids.
Good, goodbye.
On an unrelated note, I might be a little bit late for my book tomorrow.
That is most unfortunate. What is a little bit late?
I have absolutely no idea.
Nice.
I'm doing a favor for someone after work, and it may take, I don't know, 1 hour, maybe 2. Hopefully not longer than that.
This is so sad. Can we get 5 terraces? I mean, what? Well, I think I'm just gonna leave, because screw all of you.
Alright, I'll leave as well. Till later.
Best of luck on that. He left. So will I.
I noticed.